start?
Yes.
Are we ready to start?
Yes.
Shall we get going?
Yes.
Shall we move? Shall we groove?
Let's do it.
All right, we're doing it. This is it. This is the podcast.
Let's
Hi.
go.
How are you?
Oh, hi.
Welcome to the Life in a Kill podcast. So, let's set some little parameters here.
Parameters. We've never had to set parameters.
Well, we
before.
both kind of have the hacking cough, and at any point during the show, we might hack and cough. So, if that happens, we will stop, and then we will go again.
Okay.
But we're going to have to kind of talk a little slow, because I've discovered that the more I talk, the more I hack.
Then stop talking.
Hi, people. How
Wait,
are you?
it's hard to stop talking when you're doing a podcast.
We're both getting over sickness.
Yes, we are.
I'm putting a lozenge in my mouth. I'm thinking it's going to help.
I don't want to hear that during the podcast.
I can't help it. This is a little ASMR.
No, don't do that. That's disgusting.
How are you? How you feeling? Are you sick?
I'm
Did
sick.
we give you any kind of germs last week when you listened to the show?
I hope
Did
not.
you get ear virus?
I hope not. Ear virus.
Wouldn't it be weird if you could listen to a podcast? You could listen to someone talk who has a cold, and then you could pick up their cold. You get an ear virus. Holy crap! I just
What?
your iPad just came on, and it started up everything on my computer.
Oh, oops. Sorry about that.
Hold on. Cancel this. I have to cancel everything out. See that? Did you hear that?
I heard that.
I'm going to have to cancel everything out.
Just
Cancel.
cancel?
I'm quitting.
Cancel, quit.
All right, we're starting.
Quit, cancel.
We should really start over, but I'm not going to. Hi.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, everybody. How are you? This is, did I say the Life in a Kill podcast at first?
I think you did.
Did I?
I think you might have.
I hope I didn't. This is This Epic Disaster, because I looked at something that said Life in a Kill podcast, and then I think I said it.
We haven't done Life in a Kilt podcast in
in
several years.
This is This Epic Disaster. Thanks for listening. This is why.
Do you know what
it's
we need
this
right
epic
now?
Disaster.
Do you know what we need right now?
We need a live beer review. You know,
We do.
every show we open up a beer, a brand new beer we've never done on the show. We've never tasted on the show. And then we taste it and we tell you what we think about it. And that way, it saves you money because you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of beer that's crap. We tell you what's crap.
If you trust us,
Yes.
that is. So
and
today we're
this beer has a story.
It
We're going
does.
to tell you a story about this beer.
We're doing an American lager. It's from Beacon Brewing Company.
Beacon, here in Atlanta.
It's called
right?
Crushable
Crushable. I'm crushing your bowl.
in
No way.
collaboration with the Claremont Lounge.
The Claremont Lounge now, by the way, is an institution. If you don't know anything about it, just look it up.
Just look it up. Yeah. So, okay.
You said it's a hotel with a strip club in the hotel.
Yes, that's correct.
Wow.
It's on Ponce de Leon here in
Interesting.
Atlanta.
Okay.
And the little blurb here on the can says, she's blonde, she's crisp, and she'll have you doing high kicks and splits.
Mm-hmm.
This American lager is crisp, satisfying, and crushable. Enjoy drinking this as you crush your thirst and, of course, the can. Now, there's a likeness of a particular...
Well, there's two people. There's two drawings on the kind of pinup girls on the front. One is very Marilyn Monroe-ish with naked breasts. I like my beers to have naked breasts on them. And this is a woman with naked breasts instead of nipples.
Right.
She has little sparkles.
Yeah.
And she's wearing fishnets. Blonde, very Marilyn Monroe looking. And then on the other side is a very, very dark-skinned woman with gold hair. And that person...
It says, she's saying something on the can. She says, I built this city.
Okay.
So
apparently, and I just read this story today, that person is based on a real life person.
now I'm looking at a picture of her right now.
Tell her what she does. Talk
Okay,
about
so it says Atlanta icon Blondie says she's not being paid for beer created in her image.
Uh-oh.
So here it says that Blondie is going to get back pay since the beer company used her image.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she's a bodacious blonde known for her beer crushing bosoms.
She crushes beer with her boobs.
Yes.
Have you ever seen that? I bet
haven't.
you there's a YouTube video.
I bet you there is. And
Look
she's
it
probably
up.
not getting paid for that either.
Well, she probably did it, but I have seen videos of women who do this, and first of all, my question is why? It really looks like it would hurt.
It does seem
And
like
I don't
it
know
would hurt.
why someone would do that. It just seems like it would put the boob in danger.
The boob would be in danger, I believe.
But they do it, and they crush the beers. So I don't know why anybody would do it. But anyway, they do. It's kind of, I think it's sort of a burlesque type of thing.
Sort of. I suppose so, yeah. But she's been there at the Claremont Lounge for 41 years.
And she's getting paid finally, and that's
Yay.
good.
Good for her.
That's a good thing. So let's see
I
what
like
this
that.
beer... Oh, guess what? I put a
What?
cough drop in my mouth, and it's
Why would you do that?
It's going to taint the taste of the beer.
It will. It will
It's
make
gonna-
the beer taste like taint.
I think so.
It smells good.
It smells kind of typical of
It smells
kind of
good.
grapefruity. Let me see. Does it taste good?
You think everything smells like
I know.
grapefruit. I like the flavor of it so far.
Take on it.
Kind of good.
Okay.
All you taste is lozenge, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm taking this out. I just didn't want to start coughing right in the middle of the show.
Like me?
It's like disgusting.
I know, it is.
And
disgusting.
so now I've got to kind of wait for this to get. I didn't even think about that, so I'm gonna have to wait because I just tasted it and I couldn't taste anything
Except the lozenge.
except lozenge.
Okay.
This beer tastes like lozenge. By the way, I want to say something really quick.
Go ahead.
I can't even remember what beer we drank last week. It was a cider.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And we heated it up. It
Yeah.
was warm,
Yeah.
and I gave it a 1.
Right.
It sucked ass.
It did.
And I said it sucked ass.
Well, yeah.
What I want to say is I did drink a cold one, and it was much better. So,
I did as well.
yeah,
I did as
it's
well.
a better. So, what the rating that we gave that beer last week was based on it being hot.
Yeah.
So, if the company happens to listen to it, it's a much better cider cold than it is hot.
Which is how they suggest you serve it.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
we did it hot. We shouldn't have done it hot.
No, we shouldn't have. We know
shouldn't-
better.
We shouldn't have done it hot. How you doing? How's everything working for you? Eye looks better.
The eye is feeling a lot better. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. I no longer have a contact lens patch on
That's
my
good.
eye. I still have the scratch, and unfortunately, I can still see the scar.
But that'll go away, I think, over time. And you didn't have to have it scraped, which is good.
Did not have to have it scraped. The scar will eventually go away, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to take a very, very long time.
But your hacking cold is lingering, but going away.
It's kind of going away,
Mine-
yes, but I've
and
been
then I
dealing
got
with it for about 2.5 weeks now.
Mine hasn't been that severe, and it just started moving into the chest, which
Oh.
for a podcast, that's really good.
No, it's really not.
Yes. Very white. kind of thing, but
Mine started in my chest. Let's just put it that way. And it's been there ever since.
Okay.
So,
well, we're getting over it, but I think we're fine. I feel like it could have been worse. I've had worse
oh yeah.
colds, so
Oh yeah.
I think I'm okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, what should we do? Shall we start with some Would You Rather?
Let's do a would you rather question.
Little Would You Rather. So today we're back in our studio. I don't know if you noticed, but we are. I'm gonna drop the stone first. I'm really feeling red today.
Are you?
I'm feeling so red.
But you know you're not psychic, right?
If I drop a red, I'm psychic. Here
No,
we go.
it's not true.
Shall we do it?
It's not true. It's blue and
What?
green.
What? Wait, I'm going to drop it again. What is this new thing I've started doing about actually dropping two?
I don't know. It's green.
Green.
So it's not red, and you're not psychic.
I don't know what happened, but
So I guess
it
now
should
I
have
need
been.
to ask you a
It
question.
should have been red.
But it was not.
Green is what?
So green stands for ethics and intellect.
Oh, which I have.
So this
All
is a would
kinds
you
of.
rather question.
Yes.
Would you rather be a compulsive liar?
Yeah, that's a
I
ticket.
think you are a compulsive liar.
What?
Or marry one that you can't divorce.
That may have happened, but I did divorce. I'm not saying that's ever happened. I'm not saying that I am a liar.
Okay.
I don't know. Which would I rather happen?
Would you
I don't
rather
want to be a
the-
liar, but I don't want to be married to a liar. I guess I would rather be the liar.
You would rather be the liar?
I think I'd rather be the liar than married to the liar.
So you would feel better about lying to someone
Yes.
than about being lied to.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
I know.
That's really harsh.
All right. So it's your turn.
Okay.
Drop a color, babe. What did I call you, babe?
I don't know.
That was kind of like one of those sort of Sammy Davis Jr. things, but then it's creepy since we used to go out.
It's
All right.
creepy. Don't call me babe.
I shouldn't
I
call
don't
you
like
babe
it when
since
you
I'm
call me
married.
babe. I know, that's weird.
Sorry.
A little awkward.
Oh, my wife and apologize.
Apologize to your
All right, here we go. You dropped a purple one. A purple one is food and ingestion.
Yes.
Here we go. Would you rather be very hot and thirsty and have only warm red wine to drink? What?
I mean,
Or be very hungry and have only parsley to eat?
I would rather be very thirsty and have only warm wine to drink.
Yeah.
Because
I would
parsley,
say that.
I wouldn't just, I mean, I don't have a problem just eating grass or weeds. That's fine. I can do it.
Eating the weeds.
And if you're hungry enough, you will eat nothing but parsley. And your breath would be amazing.
So my wife likes to put parsley in food.
Yeah.
And I don't like it, but she cooks. So she works all day really hard.
Yes, she does.
And then she comes home at night and cooks. She likes to cook. I don't force her to do it. I would cook, but she likes to do it. She's always said the kitchen is her studio. It's how she relaxes, and she enjoys cooking.
And it's the first thing, she comes home, she changes clothes, and
Yeah.
she's in the kitchen.
So I feel like I can't say anything. I don't say anything, but sometimes she puts parsley in food, and I don't like parsley. And so I just eat it.
I
And I
put
don't
parsley
say
in food,
anything.
too.
I don't like it.
I put parsley in my ramen.
I don't like it. Ooh, I don't like, especially not ramen. I've been eating a lot of ramen recently because of the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad
Ramen
for
is
you.
awesome. I saw a documentary. It's on Netflix about ramen.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the name of it, but there's probably only one. It's good and it will make you hungry.
I am hungry.
I saw another documentary about, oh man, I saw this yesterday. And I don't want to do spoilers, but so these are the kind that are frustrating to me. So this kid, 19 years old, I don't know if this other kid was his friend or if how he knew them or what. But anyway, his other friend said that he helped him commit a murder. And then someone else who was supposedly a witness said, yes, I saw that guy. So he went to prison. He didn't do it. He went to prison. He served 10 years in prison. His dad, now you need to watch this documentary just because of what this guy's dad,
Don't
guy's
you think
dad
by
was
saying he didn't
relentless.
do it, that's a spoiler?
Kind of.
Okay.
I think just by reading the description, you would know this.
Oh, okay.
But this guy's dad was relentless and did everything to get his kid out of jail. And we talked about this on the show before, but it's amazing how your life can just be sucked away from you in a second.
Yeah.
And taken away, and you have no control over it. This kid did nothing, but he's 10 years in prison.
So that's like...
You can't get that back.
If you were to go to the police and say that I killed somebody,
Yes.
and then some other person said, yeah, I saw that happen,
Ow.
I could go to prison?
And that's what his attorney said. She said, kids, let me tell you, if you think this can't happen to you, it can. All you need is someone to say it and someone else to say they saw it, and you're in prison.
Wow.
It is weird. And just how it all happened and how the person got out is amazing. You should watch it.
What's the name of it?
I can't remember.
Oh. That's helpful.
Well, I wasn't planning
that.
on talking about it. It just kind of came up.
Okay. So speaking of which, are you still doing your jury duty thing?
Duty. Yeah.
Duty. I said duty.
Yeah, I had to call in sick last week because of this. I didn't want to sick everybody up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I am, and I got another month to go.
Wow.
It's kind of fun. Now I want to be an investigator. I've decided I want to change my career and be an investigator. I really missed my calling. Now, that's my kind of thing anyway. I love doing research. I like doing background checks. You know, that's I spend a lot of time in libraries and looking.
Sure.
I love that.
Sure.
So I would have been great at that. I should have done it. And then watching these people having to, find out stuff about crime. I should have done
You
it.
should have done it. You can still do it.
I still can.
You have to go to school.
I don't know how long. It depends on what kind. Can you go to like trade school? See, I don't want to go back to like regular school because if I have to go back to regular college, I have to pick up all the requirements again, which means I have to go take other languages and all that. And I don't want to spend all that time. I'd be back 4 years in school.
There's got to be some kind of
Like
just
a trade school for a couple of years. I would do that.
criminal investigation.
I am thinking of going to going through some special training. I wasn't planning on talking
Potty
about
training?
this either. No, I've already got that.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much taken care of.
All right, good.
This is sort of it's sort of like counseling in a way.
Okay.
It's sort of like
Life coaching?
It's very close to that,
Okay.
but it would be a year of training to do it, and yeah, I'm thinking about doing it.
Well, give us more details.
I'm kind of waiting to see.
Then why did you bring it up?
It's just I'm talking.
Why the
It
hell do
came
you
up-
bring shit up and then not talk about it?
It came
and then
up.
The podcast just feels very unfinished.
It came up, and I just mentioned it.
It just feels
I can't help it.
unfinished.
I'm sorry.
There's unfinished business here, Rick.
You're talking about my duty, aren't you?
Yes.
I have a question.
What?
Why are we still friends?
I have no idea.
No, I'm being serious. Why are we still friends?
Because
What is our friendship based on? No, I've been thinking about that. I was thinking about it today. What is our friendship based on? Why are we still friends? Is it because we have a common history? Is it just because we have a common past? We did things before? Is that the only reason?
No, I think that's part of it.
We don't do a whole lot now other than the podcast.
That's true.
We don't do a whole lot of hanging out.
Not much.
Sometimes we'll go to restaurants. Sometimes we'll do something or go to an event or something. But most of the time it's the podcast. And before we do the podcast, we sit around and chat stuff. And we chat during the podcast. But I'm just wondering, why are we still friends?
I think because we're kindred spirits. We have a lot of common likes and dislikes.
What does that mean? Tell me about what that means.
Well, I mean, I understand your humor. You understand mine.
We have similar humor, I think.
Similar.
And it's humor that we can't really do in public.
No.
it would be in big trouble.
And like
we don't necessarily like the same movies.
Not necessarily. I mean, we have some commonalities there, but we do tend to like different things. Like I like superhero movies, and you do not.
No, I don't like sci-fi stuff that much.
Yeah, and I do.
I know.
I don't know.
I like real stuff.
I guess just because there's a mutual affection.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
We both like.
We care about each other.
Do we?
I do.
You care about you?
You. Do you?
Yeah, but I'm just wondering why. Why do we?
I don't know.
I'm thinking about when we first, because we celebrated our 10-year knowing each other last year.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking we really hit it off the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why you moved to Chattanooga. It's like we really hit it off. But I was like, why do we? Because no, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. But it's like when I think about you and your personality, sometimes I go, you're not like any friend I have. I would not. If I met you out in public or something, I probably would never have been your friend because you're not like a friend like a lot of people that I've had friends with.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but you might be a little more alternative
than most of your friends in the past.
Or that I'm used to, yeah. But
Okay.
I mean, that's been good for me.
Right.
It's forced me to think about a lot of stuff. But I just wonder, what is it that perpetuates our friendship? Why are 10 years later, over 10 years later, why are we still friends other than the fact that we do a podcast?
I guess.
Why do you need this friendship? What do
Well,
you get out of it?
I get a lot out of this friendship. I consider you family at this point.
Okay.
Like it's not just friendship anymore. You're family. I plan to, see it to the end, kind of thing. Does that make
Isn't
sense?
that weird? Do you think that's weird?
No.
Do you think one of us will see the other one die? Isn't
Yes.
that weird? I think about that with my wife because I know my dad died a few years ago, and I don't know if my parents talked about this, but when you sit there and you just think, oh, one day you're going to see me dead. I will be dead and you will see me dead. And then you got to do something with all my shit.
Right.
Well, first of all, look around. This is all the shit my wife has to do something with.
Yes.
When I'm gone.
Yeah.
Don't you feel sorry for her?
She kind of hopes she dies first.
But don't you think it's weird that you maybe, unless you go first, you will see me die? Isn't that weird?
It's very weird.
Or we'll get mad at each other like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis and we'll never talk to each other again.
I don't think that'll happen.
I think in the end they talk to each other.
There's not a whole lot you could do to make me that angry.
But what do you think it'll be weird? Like, what if you move away and I'm 80 and you're, 70, 60 something, and I'm 80.
Yeah, 68.
And you're like, he's gone. He's weird. He's an old
like you
guy.
don't remember. Like, what happens if you don't remember me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
Wipe my ass.
No.
Nurse, wipe my ass, nurse.
I'm
I'm
not
not the
your
nurse.
nurse.
I'm sorry. And I'm not wiping your ass anymore. All right.
Anymore. Those times are over.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it. It's like, why do we keep it going? What is it? Is it based just, if we stopped this podcast today, would we still be friends? What would
Yes.
we do? And how often would we meet? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I would hope that we would at least see each other once a week.
But we only see each other once a week because of the podcast.
But I think we do the podcast just so that we can see each other.
Maybe it's both.
That's why
Maybe
I
a
do
little
the
of both.
podcast.
I don't know. I like doing the podcast. Don't you like doing the podcast?
I do enjoy the podcast.
I wonder if everybody else enjoys. I never know. I don't know. Do you enjoy the podcast, people? Do you listen to the podcast?
Is this at all interesting to anybody?
I don't know.
You're having
Why do people have friends?
You're feeling very existential today.
I'm just
Every
interested
question
in
you have asked me
stuff.
since I got here today has been like out there.
I'm interested in stuff. I've been getting back into poetry writing, So I've been really introspective. I've been questioning a lot of things.
And you're on cold medicine.
That a little bit might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
The other day, so this is something that hasn't happened in a long time.
Okay.
The other day I got up and totally spur of the moment. I didn't plan it. I wrote an entire stand-up comedy routine in my head. And then after it's over, I was like, I need to do this. I need to put it on stage. I hadn't wanted to do stand-up in a long time.
That has
I
been
hadn't
years.
Wanted. Is that a word?
Yes.
And now I'm wondering if I should do it.
I think you should.
Should I do stand-up again?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do stand-up. I'm trying to figure out how.
But you just said that you did this whole thing in your head and you wanted to put it on stage.
Well, I wrote the act in my head, and then I'm thinking, should I put it on stage?
Why not? Go for it. Do it.
Where would I do it?
At an amateur night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you're just calling me an amateur.
You are an amateur.
Screw you. What do
Fuck
you think?
off. You are an amateur. Are you professional stand-up?
I could be. I've been paid for it before.
But you're not right this second, are you?
Well, I'm not doing it right now.
Exactly.
Well, okay.
All right.
That doesn't make me an amateur. What if I did it and I got paid for it? I wouldn't be an amateur. I'd be a professional. Maybe I wouldn't do it until I got paid for it. What, did you ever think of that? Why are we still friends?
Fuck off.
All right, so here comes the cough.
Don't make me laugh.
No, what I'm thinking of doing is putting together like almost like a stage show, like a one-man show, one-person show. I hate one-man show because women do them too. One-person solo show, I call it. Solo show. I'm thinking of doing like a solo show. But I've thought of that before, and every time I get excited about it, then I just drop it.
You do. You do that a lot. You do that with a lot of different things.
No, but the solo show has been going on for a long time, and I wanted to do the kilt thing because I did and then that never works out, and I always drop it. But this is something totally different, and I'm wondering if I should kind of pursue it or if I should just let it go. I don't know.
Pursue it until you decide to let it go.
Is it even worth thinking about?
Yes.
I don't know.
Listen to you. You are being very just negative.
I know.
Why are you being so negative?
I don't know.
Why are you my friend?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't done stand-up in so long, but I've thought several times about doing it again, and I'd kind of like to do it again. But I just don't want to be like, I don't want to be like Seinfeld or who are the comics now? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm an old guy. That's the
You're
whole
not
reason
an
why I don't
old
want to do it again. I'm not Kevin Hart. I'm not people who are doing it now. Who are you people who are doing it now? I don't know who the people are.
Like John Mulaney.
Yeah, John Mulaney's good.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, but there's so many people like Ali Wong, like young people.
Young people.
Who I don't know.
You're not a young person.
No, I'm an old guy.
But old guys still do
I'm
comedy.
older than Louis C.K. I'm younger, I think a year than Seinfeld. My days are over. I'm not thinking about doing a career in stand-up.
You're not going to drive from show to show to show.
Hell no, I don't want to.
All over the United States.
Now, if I did like, let's say I went to like an open mic and I did it, and then like some agent was out there and he's like, "Kid, you got it. You're gonna be a star. I'm gonna take you." I would do that. I'd probably do it.
Well, first of all, they won't call you kid.
He might if he's old. If he's 80,
maybe
he could be.
You could be his kid if he's 80.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't do that. I don't. That's the whole reason why I got out of stand-up. When I thought about it, I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go. I don't want to spend my days in hotel rooms and just wasting time until I did an hour and a half on stage.
Or sleeping in your car.
No, I don't want to do that. Mm-mm. It was, that time is over.
That time is over.
But I like the idea. So this is what I like the other day. You know who Eric Bogosian is, right?
Yes.
So I bought a book, an Eric Bogosian book the other night.
Okay.
Other day. It wasn't night, it was day. And it's kind of like, it's got talk radio and some of his other monologues in that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to do. Kind of like a stage show kind of thing, maybe.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's
No, there's
awesome.
nothing at all. I mean, my background is in theater, and I quit doing it.
So do theater.
And now I'm kind of getting a little urge.
Yeah.
So I might do it.
Everybody should do theater at least once in their life.
I don't know.
Get up on stage.
I don't know where to do that. You can't do it at a comedy club. What do you do? So you develop an act, then you go like, come see my show. And everybody's like, who the hell are you? You don't need to know. Just come see my show.
There's got to be a little black box theater around here somewhere that you can
would
have.
let strange people who no one knows do a show.
Why not?
Yeah, they're everywhere. They spring up all the time. They're like, yeah, we any unknowns want to do a show? Come on to our stage.
It could happen. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If anybody knows of a little black box theater looking to book Rick Baldwin in his one-person show,
no person,
let us know. Hit us up at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Because he looks great on stage. He's 6'5". I almost said you were 5'6".
You know who I found out?
Then you would be Kevin Hart.
You know who I found out was 6'5"? All right, so I'm a big fan of the Munsters.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
And I love Fred Gwynne.
Yes.
So I was watching a Munster thing the other day, and Fred Gwynne, and it's just like, as much as I love Fred Gwynne, I know nothing about Fred Gwynne. So I Wikipedia'd Fred Gwynne.
Okay.
Fred Gwynne, Herman Munster, he was 6'5". I always thought he was like 7 foot tall.
I thought you told me that he was 6'5".
He's the same size as me.
Yes.
We could have switched each other's clothes. So, but here's the thing about Fred Gwynne that I didn't know.
What?
He was editor of the Harvard Lampoon. He performed in Hasty Pudding shows. He was a comedian. Mm-hmm. He loved doing comedy. He performed in choir. He was a singer, and he was an illustrator. He illustrated several kids' books.
I did not know he was
I didn't know that either. And he loved Herman Munster. You know, a lot of people do those iconic roles, even though he was typecast and he couldn't get a lot of roles after. He always just like, I love Herman Munster. He loved Herman.
He loved Herman.
And I love Herman.
I love Herman too.
Fred Gwynne, 6'5". Boy, that's a random thing.
That is a very random
I'm just telling you the things I found out this week.
That's interesting. I didn't find out much this week at all.
Fred Gwynne.
Except for the fact that my backyard is nothing but mud and Toffee loves to bring it in the house.
Poop.
No,
and
just
sticks.
Mud.
She likes to bring sticks in.
She does bring sticks in, and she gets super excited if she gets past me with a stick and gets it into the house. She gets super excited.
She's like my dog. My dog loves sticks. Mm-hmm. Not the rock group. I've played that.
I like sticks.
She hates it.
She doesn't like sticks?
No, she's not.
Okay.
She likes Tommy Shaw, but not Dennis DeYoung. She told me that.
Did she?
She did.
Did she use sign language?
No, she told me straight out.
Oh, okay. She just spoke to you. Mm-hmm. How much cold medicine were you on?
I was really under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know if it was my dog that said it.
It might have been Satan.
Yeah, could have been.
Okay.
I want to talk about something now. This is kind of a little bit serious.
Oh.
So
like Why Are We Friends wasn't serious?
This is even more serious. So I do not like trigger warnings.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of trigger warnings, but I feel like I should do a trigger warning.
So you're going to trigger me, or you're going to trigger a listener?
I'm going to trigger warning the conversation.
Okay.
So we're going to have a conversation that is essentially about incest. If you are someone that is a problem, a little trigger warning, and I'm trying to be sensitive to people out there.
Thank you.
We're not going to go like really, really dark into it, but I have something that I read this week that I want to talk about, and I feel like that I should give that little trigger warning.
Okay, done.
Is that all right?
Yeah, you went a little overboard on the trigger warning.
No, I didn't, because we're going to talk about that. Okay. So I just wanted to let people know. They can turn it off now. I'll give you 2 seconds to turn it off. All right, so I read this article. I was on the internet just kind of, looking for articles and interesting things and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I came across this article about a couple in Key West, Florida. They married.
Right.
And they've been married for 15 years. And then now the girl is coming out and telling everyone that they're brother and sister. 15 years they've been married.
They've been married, like living as a married couple. Mm-hmm. Do they have children?
No, neither of them can have children.
Okay, so they're both sterile.
They are now. Both of them have a common mother. They have different fathers.
Okay, so they're half siblings.
Yes, and they lost contact. They didn't even know each other for a long time, mm-hmm. and then somehow they got together. And I don't remember how they got together, but they knew they were brother and sister. But they fell in love and got married.
Okay.
So that happened, and she's talking about it, and she said that she wanted to bring attention to a phenomenon called genetic sexual attraction.
Genetic sexual attraction. I think I've heard about this.
Have you?
I think so.
Do you know what it is?
You'll tell me.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Because I looked it up.
Okay.
I Wikipedia'd it.
I see that you Wikipedia'd it.
I did, just like I did Fred Gwynne. Although I don't think Fred Gwynne had genetic sexual attraction. So here's what Wikipedia says about genetic sexual attraction.
Put your glasses on.
Genetic sexual attraction is a concept in which a strong sexual attraction may develop between close blood relatives who first meet as adults.
Yes, I have heard about this.
And then, there is no direct evidence for genetic sexual attraction being an actual phenomenon. And the hypothesis is regarded as pseudoscience.
So what I've heard is that people who are genetically like brother and sister, like
Yes.
this couple that you mentioned,
Yes.
and they don't know each other, and then when they do meet,
Yes.
they definitely have a connection, like
Yes.
some sort of biological connection,
Yes.
and emotional connection, and they either misrepresent or not misrepresent, but misunderstand that connection, and they think it's love.
Well, the phenomenon, which, again, it has been proven really to be not real. Or I guess, I don't know, how do you prove it's not real?
You can't prove love is real.
It's not accepted to be a real thing.
Right.
We'll say that. Yeah, what you said is kind of true. Mm-hmm. Two people who are in the same family but have lost touch with each other.
Right.
And they get together. Apparently, this is what the theory is, because they have such a genetic bond with each other, it turns into something sexual.
They misinterpret it as attraction, like physical attraction, sexual attraction.
But is it
or
really
love.
misinterpreted? I don't know how do you misinterpret something?
Well, I mean, you can feel very strongly for somebody and not be in love with them.
Yeah.
And you can misinterpret that as love. And
Well-
you can spend 10 years of your life with that person.
One of the examples was a mother who lost touch with her son, and then she fell in love with her son. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know if fell in love, but becomes sexually attracted to the son.
Yeah.
So, and I think I remember, speaking of Life in a Kill podcast, when we did the Life in a Kill podcast, I sort of remember us doing a story about, in Germany, this daughter who married her father. I don't know if you remember that.
Vaguely.
The problem is they actually had kids, as I recall. And I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, yeah, but I think that I'll bet you anything that started with abuse. Because she said a lot of times, and this is true, a lot of times what starts with like incestual abuse, it's kind of like when kidnappers sort of start falling in love, or the victims start falling in love with the kidnappers.
That Stockholm syndrome thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the same kind of thing. If you're being abused by a parent or something, sometimes it can turn into a connection and be that's when you misinterpret it for love or something.
Right.
But what happens when, so I'm just going to throw this example out. Woody Allen.
Okay.
He married his adopted daughter.
Adopted.
Now, people talk about him.
Adopted.
Yeah. People talk about him like he fell in love with his actual daughter, which she was his actual daughter, but she wasn't genetic. Mm-hmm. So what's wrong with that? I mean, I'm just asking, is that a problem? Is that a big problem?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can you... Well, okay. In this situation that I'm talking about, I know I'm trying to figure out the words. The brother and the sister, neither of them can have kids.
Right.
They've mentioned that they can't have kids.
Now they're half siblings. Let's keep that in mind.
They're half siblings, but let's throw it out. Let's say that they're full siblings, and they were put up for adoption. They met.
Okay.
They got together.
Okay.
Neither of them can have kids, and then they got married. What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
See, here's the problem. And I discussed this with my wife before you came over, and I was like, I know what's going to happen is we're going to talk about this, and we're both going to have the exact same viewpoint. We're both going to say there's nothing wrong with it.
There's honestly nothing wrong with it. If you want to spend the rest of your life with another adult who wants to spend the rest of their life with you, there's nothing wrong with that.
Even if it's your brother or sister.
I agree.
You're having sex with them?
Fine.
What's the deal? If you're grown adults, healthy adults, no one is saying, no one is abusing the other, and there's no chance that you're going to have kids. See, that's a problem. But if there's no chance you're going to breed and you're going to create kids out of this relationship, why the heck can't you?
I don't think that anybody could stop you.
Why should they?
Why should
There was
they?
a time in history when, like, whether you were royal or whatever, that you married your cousin, sometimes your siblings or whatever, and it was considered okay. At some point, we decided no, and it's almost always because of breeding.
Right.
Well, if you're not breeding, why is that a problem?
It's not.
I don't know if it is. To me, it doesn't seem like it. If there's somebody out there who has a different point of view, I'm open to it.
I'm open to it too,
But
but
I
I
don't-
can't think of one. Like you can't make an argument to me that says that I can't have sex with my brother if I had a brother,
Yeah.
a full brother. You can't make an argument to me that says that I can't do that.
Or you shouldn't.
Or I shouldn't do that if we don't plan to reproduce and we're not hurting anybody
Right.
and we're both consenting.
Right.
What's the problem?
I wonder. See, I have more of a problem if it's a parent.
I do too.
That really kind of starts pushing the boundaries to me. Even if it's consenting adults, though, I mean, I guess I have to say, okay, but it seems a little more abusive in that situation. We're both ID channel people. I remember there's a story on one of the ID channels of this couple. The girl married her uncle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they got ran out of town, and then they went somewhere else. And eventually somebody shot the uncle just out of, like, they never figured out who did it.
Now, I have an uncle who
Is hot? Is that what you're going to say?
all my uncles are hot. But I have an uncle who married his best friend's daughter.
Okay.
They had been best friends for years and years and years and years since the
How did
daughter
that
was
go?
since the daughter was little.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then he married her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't go well.
I can imagine. Well, I mean, here's the thing. When I was 20 years old, my wife was 10.
Yeah.
So that would have been creepy, and I would have been put in jail. But
Yes.
now it's acceptable.
Right.
So, I mean, I think age kind of helps. And certainly, you know, if your best friend's daughter is a baby, that's wrong. But when they grow up and you're consenting adults, who can tell you who you can and can't have an
I don't
intimate
know.
relationship with?
I don't know. I guess her dad just had an issue with it. Her dad had an issue with this man that he was best friends with for 25 some odd years marrying his daughter.
I feel like, so like my siblings, I grew up in a big house.
Mm-hmm.
We were all very similar in age and mostly dudes. We had two sisters, but even growing up and this is just, I feel like this is natural for anybody, whether it's your cousin or whatever. If you're at the beach and your sister is wearing a bikini and she's got
Boobs.
she looks good. I mean, I'm not saying you're thinking I want to do my sister, but I'm just saying you're going to look at her and going, "Whoa, she's kind of hot." You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a natural thing. I'm not saying you want to do anything about it,
Right.
But where are the lines that are drawn? I don't think that there's no actual line that can say don't look and say your sister's cute or hot or your brother is not, you know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
do.
understand what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
When you're young and you're going through
puberty
and hormones, there's a lot of rule. And I was thinking, this didn't happen in my family, but I have to think that there's a lot of times that we don't know about where cousins or even siblings kind of taught each other lessons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't you think that happened?
I think I mentioned this before. I have a cousin who took me in the closet and kissed me when I was 7.
Yeah, that taught you how to do it. Well, I mean, it's your cousin, so
Yeah.
you know, there's no rules.
I mean, it happened. I wasn't ready for it because I was 7.
Oh my God!
But you know,
that's more of a problem.
Yeah.
But again, kids don't have those kind of rules. I just wonder. I don't know. It's to me the whole breeding thing. I understand, and that should never happen. But I just think in situations where that's not going to be an issue,
leave them the hell alone.
Why shouldn't grown-ups be allowed to do what they want to do?
Leave them alone.
If half brothers or sisters or even full want to do it, is that really a problem? Why is that such a taboo? Why do people freak out about it? Why are people so completely freaky about Woody Allen and his adopted daughter, who's not anyway bloodkin to him, falling in love? Why couldn't that happen?
It could
What's the
absolutely
problem with
happen.
it?
There's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know. Are we strange that we have those points of view?
If we are, we're in it together. I guess.
I don't know. Should we talk about that stuff on podcast? I feel like, I guess that's what we do. We talk about things other people don't talk about. I'm totally not advocating incest, and I think that most incestual relationships are not consensual.
I think you're right. I think a lot of times,
And that's why people don't talk about it a lot.
right, because there is abuse involved in most
Totally.
incestual relationships.
It's a power thing, and it's most of the time it's a family member or something that shouldn't happen. And I mean,
No.
I'm not looking at that lightly. This is a completely different subject.
Right.
I'm talking about consensual adults who the only reason why they can't get together is people say they're kin to each other, whether it's cousins or siblings.
Yeah.
And if they want to, I don't understand why.
Is there a law that says they can't?
I think there's a law that says that siblings can't marry, but I don't even know what that means. I mean, if you're adopted, I'd love to know how many cases of adopted people have fallen in love with someone in the family.
Oh, I bet that happens a lot.
I bet Greg Brady and Marcia Brady,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They could get it on.
I mean, why not?
Sure.
They forget about that later on in the show. You kind of think that they're actual brother and sister, but they're not. They're adopted.
Not. Yeah.
So they could fall in love, and any of them.
And they could have babies.
I mean, Greg and Peter, no. They're brothers.
They can't have babies.
Should not happen.
Because they are
Bobby
actual
and
brothers.
Tiger, no.
Nope.
Or Peter
Dog.
and Alice.
Yeah.
That was my favorite 70s movie.
Peter and Alice?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Henry and Maude.
Something. There was a lot of people getting it on in the 70s. I don't know. I'd love to hear. Again, we're not making light of the situation. I like to talk about things. I like to understand things. I like to understand why maybe someone has said that people can't get along with someone else. They can't have a relationship with someone else. If we're, let's say, okay, so I'm a progressive person. You're a progressive person. We believe that two grown people who want to get married can get married.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what sex they are.
Right.
They in some ways it doesn't mean. I don't know. I'm not for plural marriage.
You're not?
Not necessarily. Although, I mean, I'm not against.
You're not going
it.
to tell somebody they can't.
No.
No.
I don't understand it. But
Right.
if people want to get in that relationship, it's
Go
not
for
my
it.
business.
Yeah.
I feel like plural marriage opens up a lot of legal problems because, like, one guy can marry 500 women and put them all on his insurance. And it could open up some legal issues that you just think, that's not too cool. But that's neither here nor there.
So we're going to put a cap on the plural marriage. No more than 4 people in one marriage.
Again, I'm not going to say I'm against it, but I just think that it opens up some problems. But I just feel like when you're talking about a consenting adult and another consenting adult who want to get together, why should they not be allowed to get together? And I feel like the fact that they, brother and sister, maybe they weren't even raised together. Maybe they were put up for adoption. They met later. There have definitely been some cases where they met and didn't know they were related.
Yeah.
And then they got married and then they found out.
Yeah.
Do they have to get a divorce?
Or-
what's wrong with, because they fell in love? How do
Yeah.
you tell them not to be in love with each other?
And who are these people that, I think I read a story once where there was a man and a woman who were brother and sister, and they got married before they knew, and then they found out, and they were like, oh, I guess we need to divorce now. Like, they made the decision. Like, how do you just suddenly tell yourself you're not allowed to love that person anymore because it's your sister?
I don't know. I would never do it.
I don't get it. So Rick just put another lozenge in his mouth.
Creeping death is coming back. I had to. Oh, I should have used the one I took out of my mouth, shouldn't I? God, this podcast. We're
What are we doing?
We're operating a little limping today, people.
I shouldn't have lit the incense.
No, I think that might actually be doing it. The incense may be
It's gone. It's out.
triggering the
Okay.
hacking cough.
Sorry, guys.
And the fact that I'm attracted to my sister. No,
Which
just
one?
kidding.
The older or the younger?
I was just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I would never marry my sister.
And I wouldn't either.
I would never marry another.
I would never marry that woman.
They're all just hard-headed like me. And why do you need to marry them? You already lived with them for 18 years.
Exactly.
You need to do that.
You want
It's already
another
been done.
18 years? Jesus.
I like mine.
I would never marry my sister. That's for damn sure.
I like my own. I like my wife. I like my spouse. I'm happy with
Are
my
you?
spouse.
Are
Yes.
you really? Honestly?
Yep.
Are you sure? Should we
So
delve
here's
into
something
this?
weird. We're talking about spouses. This is a little. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should not go into this. This is a little too personal. It's a little more family oriented.
Come on.
It's a little bit into my own personal history.
Oh dear.
My grandmother, like when my dad was 6 years old, my grandmother was killed in a train accident.
Yes.
She wasn't on the train. She was a mail carrier, and she had her radio up really, really loud and crossed the railroad tracks, didn't know there was a train coming.
And got hit.
And was dead.
So your real grandmother, your biological grandmother,
was killed.
Died.
And then my grandfather married
her sister. That happened a lot back then.
Yeah, I mean that's in the Bible too. It's just like if like a widow, or you're supposed to marry them to, I don't know, it's something Old Testament thing.
To take care of them, pat them on the head.
I guess I don't know. But so my grandmother that I always knew was really my great aunt. And but I mean, can you imagine doing that? It's like, so if my wife died, am I supposed to marry her sister?
I think she's already married.
Well, she is.
Yeah.
But I don't know that, like, just because she's my wife's sister, I don't know that I would get along with her.
I think the biblical part of it, where if a man marries a woman and the woman dies, then he's to be given her sister. I think that had to do with the dowry kind of thing, you know?
I guess.
Like, because the man basically paid for a wife.
Yeah.
And now this one's dead. Give me another one.
Yeah.
You know? Now, what if he killed her? Would the dad still have to give his other daughter?
I don't know how that works. I don't know the details. But
You know the Bible. I don't know the Bible.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a situation where that... I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like when you have to just... But I guess, I don't know. I guess my grandfather, and I never asked him about it, but I guess he was just... Well, he fell in love with his sister. Like, you know...
They were friends to begin with, I'm sure.
Next. I don't know. He worked his way down the line.
Like a deli counter.
Yeah, my grandmother was the oldest, and then I'm trying to think. No, she wasn't though. She was like second oldest. And I think he married the next one after her. Yeah.
But that's the one that you called grandma.
Yeah, she was my grandma. She's the only grandmother I ever knew.
Yeah.
Lived to be 90-something years old.
But she was actually your great aunt.
She's my great aunt. And then her sister, there was all sisters. I don't know. I just think, what if she died? Does he go to the next one? I never asked him that.
If she was free, I guess he would.
I don't know.
I don't know.
She was already married, though.
That's too bad.
Wow. We have some weird conversations on this show. You don't have to listen to the show. You know, there are other podcasts out there, and you're welcome to tune into them. But we like it if you listen to us. It's one of our favorite things, and we have a new show every Monday. You can communicate with us on Facebook. We're on Facebook, and we like when you drop lines. We like when you post your favorite show, or that you just tell your friends about us, like our friend Mike did. Koozie Mike.
Koozie Mike sent us something?
No, he posted just on his own. I didn't even ask him to do it. He posted to his friends, I love this podcast. He told a little bit about the podcast.
I saw that. Thank you, Mike.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you can do that. We can't pay you. I wish we can pay you in stickers. If you do it, just write us a letter. We'll send you some stickers. But, you know, we just like to know who's listening. We do this whether you listen or not. We do this every week.
And we would continue even if we didn't have any listeners.
Most likely, but it helps us out to know if someone out there is listening to our nonsense. And also, it helps if you send us some suggestions, because
clearly
otherwise we're going to
them.
talk about this yet. The same thing we've talked about tonight. We're going to keep doing that. So you can always help program the podcast by sending in your ideas, and we're open to your ideas. We love your ideas. You can send those to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Also, send us some lozenges. We need free lozenges. We're on
dying
YouTube.
over here.
We like for you to subscribe. That's really important. Subscribe to the podcast. Don't just download it from our website. Subscribe. I don't know. Where do you get podcasts? Apple? Google? Stitcher? iHeartRadio? There's so many places that you can find our podcast. Just subscribe to us there. And we often have new games. We've put a little bit of a hold on some of our regular stuff.
Because we're on
cold
medicine.
Sick. And but I feel like next week we'll kind of be back to some of that kind of stuff. But you can find new episodes on YouTube. And I think we'll do some videos soon, too. I can say that
as soon as we look better.
Week.
There's no way I would go on video right now. I haven't even showered today.
We're recovering. We're recovering. But I think, very soon. And I think we got some I'm not going to say it. I always say we have interviews and then we don't do it, but I feel like an interview is coming up. It's a good interview.
He's got an interview feeling
Yes.
happening inside, but I think it's just the cold medicine.
And
at
I
this
might do
point.
some stand-up. I don't know. Should I do it? Should
I want
really?
you to do it.
I
Do it.
might. That might be kind of fun.
Do it. Do
I
it.
have an old video of me doing stand-up when I'm like 26 years old.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Well, you can't hear my stand-up. You just kind of see me for like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
It's kind of fun, though.
that's what I meant. It's not that great.
It's all right. It's all right. I look like Seinfeld.
I want you to do your whole routine, your past routine for me.
No. Let me think if I could think of anything that I used to do. No.
No.
I bet I could if I thought about it for a while. So, like when I first got into stand-up, I went to New York that year, and then I wrote a bunch of my jokes about New York. And so I don't know how because I performed them in Knoxville.
Oh my gosh.
I was like doing New York jokes in Knoxville.
It probably didn't go over well. I have a joke for you. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is not my joke.
Oh no. Oh no.
I hear it's easy to convince ladies not to eat Tide Pods, but it's harder to deter gents.
Oh, that's awful.
It's not.
That's so bad.
It's not.
That's way out there.
No, it's good.
That's so bad.
It's good.
I can smell that one. That one smells.
It's my breath. Leave me
God.
alone. I
I remember
that
one of my jokes. I was like, I went to the mall. This is one of my jokes.
Okay.
I went to the mall and I saw the sign that said, wet floor. So I did.
That's horrible.
That was always got to laugh. Always got to laugh.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
That's not even good.
It was good then. It was good then.
No, it's not.
Went to the mall and I saw the sign that said wet floor. So I did. Yeah.
No.
It was good back then.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
It
not
always
even-
got to
I'm-
laugh. It always got to laugh. That's the thing about doing stand-up in a comedy club is it's kind of easy to make drunk people laugh.
I'm not even going to smile at that one.
No, that was like one of my very first jokes. All my early jokes were sucked ass.
So they all had to do with
Some
like
of my late jokes sucked ass too.
urine and potty.
Oh yeah, body stuff, farting and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this beer. Speaking of farting, what do you think of the beer?
I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm
I like
surprised.
it.
I kind of do too. Even though when I took the lozenge out of my mouth, it's still okay.
It is actually really good. It's it's by the Beacon Brewing Company. It's
Yeah.
called Crushable, and it's in collaboration with Claremont Lounge. And it's got Blondie on the front of it, and it has to do with crushing things. Like she crushes things
What do you
with her
think?
with her tatas,
Oh, with her boobs,
with her boobs.
her breasticles.
She crushes beer cans with her boobs.
My friend Joe used to say breasticles.
Breasticles.
When I was
yes.
in college, and I thought that was the funniest thing in the world, and so I started saying breasticles. What do you think about Crushable?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
3? All right, I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it, and this is really not my kind of beer, but
It's just an American lager.
but I liked it.
It's actually this.
More so
there's
than I
this
thought.
weird. There's this weird sweet note in it that I can't define.
Yeah,
But it's not over sweet,
right.
and I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we like this beer. I don't know that you can find it because it's from Atlanta, but anyway, please just send us a letter. We're getting kind of desperate here. We want to hear from you. I want to know if anybody's out there.
so much.
I want to know if anybody's out there.
We're so alone.
So drop us a line at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Let me also just kind of plug our Disaster Baiter Facebook group.
Yes.
We do have a kind of a secret group of the Disaster Baiters, which is what we call our
Listeners.
fans.
Yes.
And so go to Facebook. I think there's a connection on our Facebook page to the Disaster Baiter group. But if there's not, just look for Disaster Baiters and we're there. And join the group and start discussions. No one talks in that group. No one talks.
Everybody's so quiet.
Right.
It's like you can hear a pin drop.
But we'd like to kind of change that. So we're going to say goodbye, I guess, so we can go. My wife's making potato soup.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for that, which sucks because I love
Oh,
potato
no.
soup.
You should. Maybe she's got some down there. You can have a bowl.
I don't think it's ready yet.
It's good.
I don't think she started
She made you
on
hot
it yet.
toddy, though, before, right?
She made me a hot toddy,
She's trying to take care of your sickness.
and I love her for it.
People, we'll see you next week. We'll probably be better.
Let's hope.
I think will be better.
I will be.
And next week is Valentine's Day week. We should talk about Valentine's stuff.
We will.
Tomorrow, Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog
What
Day.
is it? The groundhog sees its shadow. It's several more weeks or doesn't see its shadow. I don't know which.
I don't know which either.
It's a stupid holiday.
It is stupid.
It's not really a holiday. It's an event.
Isn't the groundhog name like
Puxatawny Phil.
Phil or Pete?
They should. I don't know. They should call it Phyllis.
Phyllis?
They should do.
Is it a female?
Yeah, like hurricanes. Every year, the other year they should have a female groundhog.
Yeah.
But I
agree.
don't like Groundhog's Day. It's stupid.
I like
I always
groundhogs
thought it was
though.
dumb.
I like the critters though.
No, they'll. What did you touch your boobs when you said
I
that?
did critters, like little critter. I didn't touch my boobies.
You were touching your
I went
boobs while
like
you said
this.
critters.
Critters.
No, that's
My boobs are not critters.
You touched them. I saw you.
Sometimes they crawl off of me,
All right.
but I put them back in their place.
I'm gonna go take some more cold medicine, and I'll see you guys next week.
Me too.
Enjoy your week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.